Over the last few centuries. During the past several hundred years. Over the last few centuries, scientific advancements have drastically changed the way humans interact with their environment. Over the last few centuries, architectural styles have evolved significantly, reflecting cultural shifts and technological innovations. It is a well-established fact that it is widely known and accepted. It is a well-established fact that regular exercise improves mental health and contributes to overall physical well-being. It is a well-established fact that climate change has had a significant impact on global weather patterns and ecosystems. It can result in a serious problem. It may lead to a major issue. If water contamination continues at this rate, it can result in a serious problem for local communities and wildlife. Ignoring early signs of economic instability can result in a serious problem that affects national growth and job security. It is important to point out that it is necessary to mention or highlight. It is important to point out that economic growth alone does not always translate into improved quality of life for all citizens. It is important to point out that not all individuals respond to treatment the same way, due to genetic and environmental differences. The principal reason for this is that the main reason for something is because the principal reason for this is that renewable energy sources are both sustainable and reduce dependence on fossil fuels. The principal reason for this is that increased automation has led to significant job displacement across several industries globally. Another logical reason to support this. An additional sensible explanation to justify. Another logical reason to support stricter gun control laws is that it could significantly lower the rate of violent crimes nationwide. Another logical reason to support remote work is that it reduces commute times, leading to increased productivity and job satisfaction. The noteworthy feature of X is a significant characteristic of something is. The noteworthy feature of the new smartphone is its exceptionally long battery life, designed to last for days. The noteworthy feature of the painting is its use of light, which gives it an almost ethereal, dreamlike quality. X is becoming more widespread. Something is becoming more common. Telecommuting is becoming more widespread as businesses adapt to the benefits of flexible, remote work arrangements. Solar energy is becoming more widespread as technology improves and the demand for renewable energy continues to rise. The government should act decisively. The authorities need to take firm action. The government should act decisively to address the rising cost of living, which is placing undue pressure on low-income households. The government should act decisively in implementing stricter environmental regulations to combat the increasing threat of climate change. Several measures should be taken. Various actions should be implemented. Several measures should be taken to improve road safety, including stricter speed limits and better driver education programs. Several measures should be taken to combat climate change, from reducing emissions to protecting vulnerable ecosystems. Apart from the positive aspects. Except for the good parts. Apart from the positive aspects, social media can contribute to misinformation and unhealthy comparisons among users. Apart from the positive aspects, urbanization brings challenges like overcrowding, pollution, and strain on public infrastructure. It can cause many unforeseen problems. It may lead to unexpected issues. Ignoring maintenance in buildings can cause many unforeseen problems, like leaks and structural damage. Changing regulations without thorough analysis can cause many unforeseen problems for businesses and consumers alike. That will offer a number of job opportunities. It will create various employment chances. The expansion of renewable energy projects will offer a number of job opportunities in engineering and maintenance. The growth of the tech sector will offer a number of job opportunities for software developers and IT professionals. There is a combination of many factors. Many different causes contribute to this. There is a combination of many factors leading to the rise in global temperatures, including deforestation and pollution. There is a combination of many factors that affect academic success, such as motivation, environment, and support. Another alternative way to combat the issue. Another option is to address the problem. Another alternative way to combat the issue of unemployment is by providing vocational training programs. Another alternative way to combat the issue of plastic waste is by promoting reusable and biodegradable materials. Make joint efforts to tackle the problem. Work together to solve the issue. Governments and businesses must make joint efforts to tackle the problem of climate change and its devastating global impacts. Scientists and policymakers should make joint efforts to tackle the problem of antibiotic resistance before it becomes uncontrollable. For the need for education development. To improve or advance education. For the need for education development, universities should collaborate with industries to design better curricula. For the need for education development, more resources should be allocated to rural and underprivileged schools. X is by far the most important method. It is the best or most effective way. Recycling is by far the most important method of reducing waste and conserving natural resources for future generations. Vaccination is by far the most important method of preventing the spread of contagious diseases and maintaining public health. Making contributions to society and culture. Adding value or helping develop the community. Artists and musicians play a role in making contributions to society and culture through their creative work. Educators make invaluable contributions to society and culture by shaping the minds of future generations. It has no clear-cut solution to the problem. There is no simple or straightforward fix. The crisis in the healthcare system has no clear-cut solution, requiring multiple changes across different levels. Traffic congestion in cities has no clear-cut solution, due to the continuous growth of urban populations. Lay a solid foundation for further improvement. Create a strong base for future progress. Early childhood education lays a solid foundation for further improvement in a child's academic journey. Establishing clear guidelines in the workplace will lay a solid foundation for further improvement in employee productivity. Having reliable sources of information. Access to trustworthy and accurate data. Having reliable sources of information allows policymakers to make decisions that are based on facts and real-world data. Researchers must ensure they are working with reliable sources of information to maintain the integrity of their scientific findings. It has long been a common issue. This has been a problem for a long time. Poverty has long been a common issue in many parts of the world, despite efforts to reduce it through various initiatives. Corruption has long been a common issue in political systems, undermining trust and the rule of law in affected countries. Many people are of the opinion that a lot of individuals believe this. Many people are of the opinion that stricter environmental laws are necessary to combat global warming and reduce air pollution. Many people are of the opinion that governments should invest more in renewable energy sources to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. The most worrying aspect of X is that the most concerning thing about it is the most worrying aspect of social media addiction is that it can negatively affect mental health and real-world relationships. The most worrying aspect of antibiotic resistance is that it could lead to infections becoming untreatable in the near future. There was widespread agreement. Many people agreed on this. There was widespread agreement that healthcare workers deserve more recognition for their efforts during the pandemic. There was widespread agreement among experts that the economy needed stronger regulation to prevent future crises. The idea of X is strongly supported by. There is solid evidence for the concept of X. The idea of renewable energy is strongly supported by recent studies showing its efficiency in reducing carbon emissions. The implementation of green buildings is strongly supported by the need to conserve energy and reduce environmental impacts. People have conflicting views. There are differing opinions on the topic. The use of genetically modified crops has led to a conflicting view among farmers, consumers, and policymakers. People have conflicting views on the effectiveness of standardized testing in measuring student intelligence and skills. There are both benefits and drawbacks. There are advantages as well as disadvantages. Online learning provides both benefits and drawbacks, influencing the way education is delivered to students worldwide. Telecommuting offers both benefits and drawbacks for companies and employees regarding productivity and work-life balance. An example to illustrate this point. A case that helps explain or demonstrate the idea. An example to illustrate this point is the effectiveness of vaccination campaigns in controlling the spread of diseases. The popularity of fast fashion is an example to illustrate this point about consumer culture and environmental impact. Research has generally suggested. Studies typically indicate or show a particular result. Research has generally suggested that a balanced diet is crucial for maintaining long-term health and well-being. Numerous reports have generally suggested that working long hours can lead to burnout and decreased productivity. There is a growing concern over this. More people are becoming worried about this issue. There is a growing concern over the issue of plastic waste, polluting the oceans and harming marine life. The increased use of social media among teenagers has led to a growing concern over this affecting their mental health. Over the last 20 years. In the past 2 decades. Over the last 20 years, there has been significant growth in technology development and digital communication tools. Education systems around the world have undergone major changes over the last 20 years, incorporating digital learning. An overwhelming number of people. A large majority of people. An overwhelming number of people prefer online shopping for its convenience and wide variety of products. An overwhelming number of people are now adopting healthier lifestyles through regular exercise and balanced diets. From a global perspective. Considering the issue from a worldwide view. The rise of the Internet has, from a global perspective, created opportunities for businesses to reach international markets. From a global perspective, issues like poverty and hunger continue to be major concerns that require immediate attention. It is becoming more evident that it is clearer or more apparent now. It is becoming more evident that sustainable practices are essential for the long-term survival of businesses. It is becoming more evident that climate change is directly linked to human activities like deforestation and pollution. A progressive trend toward a developing movement in a certain direction. Society is showing a progressive trend toward embracing plant-based diets for health and environmental reasons. The education system is experiencing a progressive trend toward more interactive and student-centered learning methods. It has its own merits and drawbacks. It has both positive and negative aspects. Online learning has its own merits and drawbacks, affecting students' access to education and their learning experience. The use of social media has its own merits and drawbacks, influencing how people communicate and share information. Keep pace with contemporary society. Stay updated or adapt to modern trends. Companies must innovate to keep pace with contemporary society and meet the demands of modern consumers. Individuals are required to develop digital skills to keep pace with contemporary society and the changing work environment. The results are utterly predictable. The outcome is very obvious or expected. If people don't reduce plastic waste, the results are utterly predictable, with oceans facing severe pollution. Failing to address climate change means the results are utterly predictable, rising temperatures and more natural disasters. It is relatively a new phenomenon. It is a recent development or occurrence. It is relatively a new phenomenon that virtual reality technology is being integrated into educational curriculums on a large scale. It is relatively a new phenomenon that people rely more on social media for news updates than traditional news sources. Despite its safety and efficacy. Even though it is proven to be safe and effective. Despite its safety and efficacy, the medication has faced scrutiny due to potential side effects in rare cases. Electric vehicles, despite their safety and efficacy, have faced challenges related to charging infrastructure and costs. X has been supported by sound reasons. There are logical and valid justifications for X. This policy has been supported by sound reasons, emphasizing economic growth and reducing unemployment. The ban on single-use plastics has been supported by sound reasons, particularly the need to protect the environment. In today's globalized world. Referring to the unified nature of the world today. In today's globalized world, businesses must compete internationally, not just within their own countries. In today's globalized world, cultural exchange has become more common, influencing music, fashion, and food. There is a general perception that most people believe or think that there is a general perception that electric cars are more environmentally friendly than traditional gasoline vehicles. There is a general perception that smartphones have changed the way people communicate and access information. Another distinguishing feature of X is another characteristic that makes X unique. Another distinguishing feature of her leadership style is her focus on inclusivity and promoting a collaborative work environment. Another distinguishing feature of this smartphone is its advanced AI-powered camera, capable of real-time image enhancement. These are convenient and efficient. These things are easy to use and save time. Smartphones are convenient and efficient for managing communication, browsing, and even working on the go. Online banking services are convenient and efficient, making it easy to manage accounts without visiting the bank. It has greatly influenced people's lives. It has had a major impact on how people live. Modern medicine has greatly influenced people's lives, increasing life expectancy and improving health outcomes. Technology has greatly influenced people's lives, simplifying everyday tasks and enabling new ways of communication. The latest development of technology. The most recent advancement in tech. The latest development of technology in healthcare involves wearable devices that monitor patient health in real time. Autonomous vehicles are the latest development of technology, aiming to revolutionize the transportation industry. The situation can be exacerbated by something can make the situation worse. The problem of air pollution can be exacerbated by industrial emissions and vehicle exhaust in urban areas. The impact of a pandemic can be exacerbated by slow responses and a lack of coordination among authorities. It has been a long-standing problem. The issue has existed for a long time. Corruption remains a long-standing problem that undermines governance and economic development in various regions. It has been a long-standing problem for students to balance academic commitments with part-time jobs, causing high stress levels. A number of studies have investigated. Many research works have looked into this topic. A number of studies have investigated the potential health benefits of a plant-based diet in reducing the risk of chronic diseases. A number of studies have investigated the relationship between sleep patterns and cognitive performance in young adults. We need urgent and immediate attention. This issue requires fast action. Access to clean water in developing countries requires urgent and immediate attention to prevent the spread of diseases. Mental health crises among teenagers need urgent and immediate attention from health professionals and policymakers. The results of the topic indicate that the outcomes or findings show that the results of the topic indicate that early childhood education plays a crucial role in long-term academic success and social development. The results of the topic indicate that Exercise not only improves physical health but also enhances cognitive function and emotional well-being. It varies from country to country. It differs depending on the nation. Healthcare costs vary from country to country, with some providing universal coverage and others relying on private insurance. Policies on environmental protection differ from country to country, depending on local resources and government priorities. No significant difference was found. There was no noticeable variation. After testing, no significant difference was observed between the effects of the two types of fertilizers. Research indicated no significant difference in patient recovery rates when comparing the two treatment methods. There is a similarity between X and Y. X and Y are comparable in some way. There is a striking similarity between urban population growth and the rise in environmental challenges in major cities worldwide. There is a similarity between renewable energy adoption and advancements in technology, both driving sustainability forward. More research needs to be undertaken. Additional studies are required. More research needs to be undertaken to fully understand the long-term effects of artificial intelligence on job markets. More research needs to be undertaken on the environmental impact of fast fashion and its contribution to global pollution. There are several possible explanations. Many reasons could explain this situation. There are several possible explanations for the decline in public trust in governmental institutions across various countries. There are several possible explanations for the increasing demand for electric vehicles in urban centers around the world. There are two important reasons why. Two main causes or reasons explain this. There are two important reasons why online education is becoming popular: accessibility and flexibility for students. There are two important reasons why renewable energy sources are gaining global prominence: sustainability and cost efficiency. More study is needed to better understand. Further research is required for understanding. More study is needed to better understand the long-term effects of climate change on coastal communities worldwide. More study is needed to better understand how work-from-home policies impact employees' mental health and productivity. There is a gradual rise in the number of The number of something is slowly increasing. There is a gradual rise in the number of cities adopting smart technologies to enhance urban living and sustainability. There is a gradual rise in the number of companies implementing remote work policies after the global pandemic experience. It should be compulsory for everyone. Everyone must be required to do this. It should be compulsory for everyone to participate in first aid training, to be prepared for emergencies in everyday situations. It should be compulsory for everyone to vote in national elections, as civic participation strengthens democratic institutions. Despite these compelling arguments, even with strong reasons, there might be opposing views. Despite these compelling arguments for universal healthcare, many people remain concerned about its financial implications. Despite these compelling arguments supporting space exploration, some critics argue that the resources could be better used elsewhere. I give my opinion to the former. I support the first of the options mentioned. Between urbanization and rural development, I give my opinion to the former, as cities offer more economic opportunities. When considering individual work and team collaboration, I give my opinion to the former, as it allows for greater personal accountability. Both factors should be considered. Two elements need to be taken into account. Both factors should be considered in determining job satisfaction, the work environment, and the compensation package. Both factors should be considered when planning urban development, environmental sustainability, and economic growth. It is quite unpredictable that the situation is very uncertain. It is quite unpredictable that stock market trends will remain stable given the current global economic conditions. It is quite unpredictable that artificial intelligence will evolve to the point of fully replacing human decision-making. These are undeniable facts that the following information is definitely true. These are undeniable facts that renewable energy is key to combating climate change and reducing global carbon emissions. These are undeniable facts that a well-balanced diet and regular exercise contribute to overall physical and mental well-being. The overall picture of the issue is that the main idea or conclusion about the issue. The overall picture of the issue is that global inequality continues to widen, despite efforts to address economic disparities. The overall picture of the issue is that mental health challenges have become more prevalent in modern, fast-paced societies. There is a heated debate on the current issue. People strongly disagree about this topic. There is a heated debate on the current issue of regulating social media to prevent the spread of misinformation. There is a heated debate on the current issue of affordable housing in rapidly growing urban areas across the world. As far as we are concerned, from our perspective or point of view, as far as we are concerned, implementing stricter environmental policies is essential to ensuring a sustainable future for generations. As far as we are concerned, education reform should prioritize critical thinking and problem-solving skills over rote memorization. In light of this above evidence, considering the information presented earlier, in light of the above evidence, it is clear that climate change poses a significant threat to global ecosystems and biodiversity. In light of the above evidence, we must reconsider our approach to healthcare reform to ensure equitable access for all. The argument on both sides has shown. Both perspectives have revealed certain points. The argument on both sides has shown that there are pros and cons to adopting a universal basic income policy. The argument on both sides has shown that stricter gun control could reduce violence, but questions of rights remain. X plays an increasingly important role in. X is becoming more significant in a certain area. Renewable energy plays an increasingly important role in addressing climate change and reducing carbon footprints. Social media plays an increasingly important role in how businesses market their products and engage with customers. It can be concluded that we can determine or deduce this. It can be concluded that renewable energy is essential for addressing the global energy crisis and achieving sustainability. It can be concluded that online education will continue to grow in popularity, given its flexibility and accessibility. To come up with the right decision. To make the best choice. To come up with the right decision, organizations should prioritize employee well-being and long-term company objectives. To come up with the right decision, leaders must consider both the short-term benefits and the long-term consequences of their actions. The advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. The benefits are much greater than the drawbacks. The advantages of online education far outweigh the disadvantages, providing accessibility and flexibility to students worldwide. The advantages of universal healthcare far outweigh the disadvantages, ensuring that everyone has access to necessary medical services. To compete with international companies. To be on par with global businesses. To compete with international companies, domestic firms need to invest in technology and talent development to stay ahead. To compete with international companies, small businesses must capitalize on their unique strengths and prioritize quality over quantity. I agree with this to a certain extent. I partly support this present idea. I agree with this to a certain extent, though there are potential risks that should not be overlooked in the long term. I agree with this to a certain extent, but I think more research is needed to fully understand the potential consequences. It is completely a social phenomenon. Something occurring because of societal behaviors. The rise of social media influencers is completely a social phenomenon, reflecting changing trends in consumer behavior. The increasing popularity of online shopping is completely a social phenomenon, driven by convenience and accessibility. It should be stated that it is important to mention this. It should be stated that education plays a critical role in promoting social mobility and reducing economic inequality. It should be stated that mental health is as important as physical health, and both should be treated with equal care. I am inclined to believe that. I tend to think this is true. I am inclined to believe that technological advancements will continue to reshape the job market in unprecedented ways. I am inclined to believe that renewable energy will eventually replace fossil fuels as the dominant global energy source. We should have a sense of cooperation. People need to work together for a purpose. We should have a sense of cooperation when addressing global challenges like climate change and economic inequality. We should have a sense of cooperation to achieve common goals in promoting sustainability and reducing environmental harm. It is generally agreed that most people accept this as true. It is generally agreed that climate change poses one of the greatest threats to future generations and global ecosystems. It is generally agreed that education is the key to unlocking opportunities and improving social mobility for disadvantaged groups. It should be noted that this information needs to be pointed out. It should be noted that the long-term success of any business relies on its ability to adapt to changing market conditions. It should be noted that technological advancements in medicine have significantly improved patient outcomes and overall healthcare. This example profoundly highlights. This example clearly shows something important. This example profoundly highlights the disparity between the intended outcomes and the actual effects of the new policy. His research profoundly highlights the cultural differences that shape communication styles across various regions of the world. Take many things into consideration. To think about many factors before making a decision. We need to take many things into consideration before deciding on a long-term investment strategy for the company. Take many things into consideration, such as climate, budget, and community support, when launching a new agricultural project. Essential natural resources. Basic materials from nature that are necessary. Water and fertile land are essential natural resources that communities rely on for agriculture, daily living, and overall survival. Access to essential natural resources like clean air and water is vital for maintaining public health and ensuring sustainable development. Having a psychological burden. Experiencing mental stress or anxiety. Students preparing for exams often report having a psychological burden due to the immense pressure to perform well. Having a psychological burden can decrease productivity, as it often leads to stress, anxiety, and diminished focus. Appropriate measures should be taken. Necessary actions should be taken to handle a situation. Given the increasing crime rate in urban areas, appropriate measures should be taken to enhance security and community policing. In light of the pollution crisis, appropriate measures should be taken to reduce industrial emissions and promote clean energy alternatives. X is an issue of trial and error. Testing different solutions to find the best one. Overcoming poverty in developing nations is an issue of trial and error, requiring innovative policies and consistent evaluation. Addressing global education disparities is an issue of trial and error, involving the testing of various teaching methods and curricula. We still have a long way to go. There's still much to be done before reaching a goal. We still have a long way to go in achieving racial equality, as systemic issues continue to hinder true societal integration. In combating climate change, we still have a long way to go to reduce global emissions and halt environmental degradation. In all aspects of human and social life. In every part of people's daily lives and society. Access to clean water impacts in all aspects of human and social life, from health and hygiene to economic productivity. Education plays a pivotal role in all aspects of human and social life, influencing opportunities for growth, equality, and innovation. Environmentally friendly elements. Features that are good for the environment. The new building incorporates environmentally friendly elements such as solar panels, green roofs, and rainwater harvesting systems. The city's new infrastructure project emphasizes the use of environmentally friendly elements to promote sustainable urban living. Much attention should be focused on. A lot of effort should be directed towards something. In solving the housing crisis, much attention should be focused on affordable housing solutions that meet the needs of low-income families. Much attention should be focused on preserving endangered species, as biodiversity loss poses long-term threats to ecosystems globally. Measures should be implemented immediately. Necessary actions should be taken right away. Measures should be implemented immediately to curb inflation, as rising prices are affecting the cost of living for millions of people. Given the severity of the environmental damage, conservation measures should be implemented immediately to restore fragile ecosystems. Having different attitudes towards this issue. People see this problem differently. Many political parties are having different attitudes towards this issue, leading to a divided approach to healthcare reform. Having different attitudes towards this issue of gun control has led to significant debate within the country's legislative bodies. Social and economic integration. Combining people and economies into a whole system. Education is key to social and economic integration, providing individuals with the skills needed to participate fully in society. Social and economic integration is essential for ensuring that immigrant communities can thrive and contribute to the broader society. Another key noticeable effect of Another significant consequence of something. Rising temperatures are another key noticeable effect of climate change, significantly impacting agriculture and wildlife habitats. Another key noticeable effect of economic growth is the increased demand for energy, which can lead to environmental degradation. Competition in small businesses. Rivalry among small companies in the market. While competition in small businesses is fierce, it often leads to more affordable products and improved customer service. The rise of e-commerce has heightened competition in small businesses, forcing traditional retailers to adapt or face closure. Short-term interest causes the problem. Focusing only on immediate gains leads to issues. Short-term interest causes the problem of political instability, as leaders prioritize quick wins over meaningful reforms. In the housing market, short-term interest causes the problem of inflated prices, making homes less affordable for average buyers. There is a matter of great concern. Something very serious and worrying. There is a matter of great concern regarding the rising rates of deforestation and its long-term impact on global biodiversity. For policymakers, there is a matter of great concern in addressing the growing wealth gap between different social classes. Another thing that can exacerbate the issue. Something else that can make the problem worse. Poor communication between departments is another thing that can exacerbate the issue of project delays in large organizations. Another thing that can exacerbate the issue of income inequality is the lack of access to quality education for low-income families. Analyzing the pros and cons. Evaluating the advantages and disadvantages. When choosing a new career path, it's essential to spend time analyzing the pros and cons to make a well-informed decision. When implementing a new policy, analyzing the pros and cons helps determine whether it will achieve the desired results. These three factors are equally important. All three elements matter the same. To ensure a balanced life, these three factors are equally important: mental health, physical fitness, and emotional well-being. In determining the success of a business, these three factors are equally important: product quality, customer satisfaction, and market adaptability. Another potential problem. A possible issue that could arise. Another potential problem with relying on fossil fuels is the long-term environmental damage caused by carbon emissions. Another potential problem with remote work is the loss of social interaction and team collaboration, which can affect productivity. X has made the situation worse. X has contributed to a problem becoming more severe. The lack of timely government response has made the situation worse, with more people affected by the natural disaster each day. Cutting funding for public education has made the situation worse, as more schools struggle to provide quality instruction and resources. Be detrimental to economic progress. Harmful or damaging to economic development. Political instability can be detrimental to economic progress, discouraging foreign investments and disrupting local industries. High levels of corruption can be detrimental to economic progress by diverting resources away from public goods and services. Exchange ideas and information. Share thoughts, opinions, and data with others. Universities serve as hubs where students and researchers can exchange ideas and information to drive innovation and discovery. In the workplace, regular team meetings allow employees to exchange ideas and information that improve project outcomes and efficiency. They will have unexpected outcomes. Things might not go as planned, leading to unforeseen results. If we don't plan carefully, they will have unexpected outcomes that may complicate the project and extend deadlines. If policies are not thoroughly reviewed, they will have unexpected outcomes that could undermine the goals of the legislation. It has far-reaching consequences such as it causes effects that extend widely in various ways. The rapid expansion of social media has far-reaching consequences, such as the erosion of privacy and the spread of misinformation. Economic recession has far-reaching consequences such as unemployment, reduced public spending, and long-term financial instability. The healthy development of communication. The growth of effective and clear communication. The healthy development of communication within an organization is essential for fostering collaboration, creativity, and overall success. Schools play a key role in the healthy development of communication skills, helping students express their thoughts and ideas clearly. They are different from historical events. They are not the same as past occurrences. The causes of the financial crisis are different from historical events, as they involve more complex global market dynamics. The political movements of today are different from historical events, as social media now plays a significant role in their organization. There is a growing awareness among general people. More people are starting to understand something. There is a growing awareness among general people that climate change requires immediate action from both individuals and governments. As sustainability trends increase, there is a growing awareness among general people about the need for eco-friendly consumer products. They both are interconnected with each other. Both are linked or related in some way. Politics and culture are interconnected with each other, influencing public opinion and shaping social movements across the world. Education and social mobility are interconnected with each other, with better access to schooling leading to improved economic opportunities. It depletes time and energy. It uses up a lot of time and energy, leaving little left. Arguing over trivial matters in the workplace depletes time and energy, making it harder to meet project deadlines. Constantly worrying about minor details depletes time and energy that could be better spent focusing on the bigger picture. Broaden one's scope of knowledge. To expand what you understand about a subject. Reading diverse books helps to broaden one's scope of knowledge about different cultures and perspectives. Traveling exposes individuals to new ideas and experiences, broadening one's scope of knowledge beyond textbooks. It has a long-term effect on. It influences something for an extended period. Childhood experiences can have a long-term effect on a person's emotional stability and relationships as adults. Climate change will have a long-term effect on global weather patterns and ecosystems if not addressed promptly. The problem both physically and mentally. A situation that affects both physical and mental health. Poor diet and lack of exercise create a problem both physically and mentally, affecting mood and energy levels. The ongoing pandemic has caused a problem both physically and mentally, for many individuals around the world. Give rise to social awareness. To create consciousness about societal issues. Public protests can give rise to social awareness about injustices that may have been previously ignored by society. Educational programs in schools aim to give rise to social awareness about important topics like diversity and inclusion. Spell various problems and hazards. To indicate or reveal different issues and dangers. The report spells various problems and hazards related to pollution that need urgent attention from local authorities. Climate change spells various problems and hazards for future generations, threatening biodiversity and natural resources. This promotes the stability and prosperity of society. This helps society to be stable and successful. Investing in renewable energy sources promotes the stability and prosperity of society by creating sustainable jobs. Strong community ties and support networks promote the stability and prosperity of society, fostering a sense of belonging. We should put more emphasis on it. We need to prioritize or focus more on it. In addressing climate change, we should put more emphasis on it, to ensure a sustainable future for generations to come. When developing new technologies, we should put more emphasis on them to ensure user privacy and data security are protected. X has a powerful influence on. X significantly affects or shapes something. Social media has a powerful influence on public opinion, shaping perceptions about various issues and events. Cultural values have a powerful influence on individual behavior, impacting how people interact within their communities. There are manifold reasons. There are many different reasons. There are manifold reasons for the decline in bee populations, including habitat loss, pesticide use, and climate change. There are manifold reasons why people choose to volunteer, ranging from personal fulfillment to community service. Some of the root causes are. A few of the fundamental reasons are. Some of the root causes are systemic racism and discrimination, contributing to ongoing social disparities and injustices. The rise in addiction rates may stem from some of the root causes, including mental health issues and social isolation. Other key factors that contribute. Additional important elements that play a role. Economic policies are other key factors that contribute to a country's growth and stability in the global market. Other key factors that contribute to climate change include industrial emissions and deforestation, affecting global temperatures. From an overall perspective. When considering the big picture. From an overall perspective, investing in renewable energy sources is crucial for long-term environmental sustainability. From an overall perspective, effective communication enhances team performance and leads to better project outcomes. The most compelling evidence. The strongest proof or support for a claim. The research study provided the most compelling evidence that climate change is largely driven by human activities. In court, the prosecutor presented the most compelling evidence, linking the defendant to the crime scene and motive. Points are often overlooked. Aspects that are frequently ignored or not considered. In discussions about education, there are points often overlooked, including the impact of mental health on student performance. Points are often overlooked in workplace diversity discussions, include the importance of inclusivity for all marginalized groups. To put it another way. To express it differently. The data shows a decline in sales. To put it another way, our marketing strategy needs to be re-evaluated urgently. The solution is costly. To put it another way, we should explore more affordable alternatives to achieve our goals. It is quite common these days. It frequently happens or is seen in the current time. It is quite common these days for schools to incorporate technology into their curricula to enhance student learning experiences. Finding sustainable products is becoming it is quite common these days, as more consumers prioritize eco-friendly options. There are mainly two schools of thought about. There are primarily two different theories on a subject. In psychology, there are mainly two schools of thought about the nature of human behavior, behaviorism and cognitive psychology. In economics, there are mainly two schools of thought about market regulation. Laissez-faire capitalism and interventionist approaches. Contradictory theory suggests that a theory that opposes or challenges another idea. Some scientists propose a contradictory theory that evolution occurs in bursts, rather than gradually over time. Contradictory theory suggests that too much screen time might not be as harmful to children as previously thought. The evidence supports this assumption. Proof that backs up a specific belief or idea. The data collected from various studies show that the evidence supports this assumption about the benefits of meditation on health. Research findings indicate that the evidence supports this assumption that poor air quality directly impacts public health outcomes. At the same time, simultaneously or during the same period, many people are focusing on their careers. At the same time, they are trying to maintain a healthy work-life balance. The city is improving its public transportation. At the same time, it is working on reducing traffic congestion and pollution levels. Up to the present time. Until now or currently. Up to the present time, research has shown no clear link between diet and mental health, despite common beliefs. The company has seen steady growth up to the present time, despite economic challenges and market fluctuations. An additional argument to support this view. Another point that reinforces this opinion or belief. Environmentalists offer an additional argument to support this view, emphasizing the urgent need for renewable energy sources. An additional argument to support this view is the success of similar policies, implemented in other countries that improved public health. In the meantime, during the time before something else happens. While the software is being updated, in the meantime, users can access the previous version for necessary tasks. The project is delayed. In the meantime, we can focus on improving our internal processes and communication strategies. Most people tend to agree with it. A majority of individuals usually support it. In discussions about health, most people tend to agree with it that regular exercise is essential for maintaining well-being. Most people tend to agree with it that climate change is a pressing issue, requiring immediate action from governments worldwide. Many people proclaim that. A lot of individuals assert or announce that. Many people proclaim that technology has revolutionized the way we communicate and connect with one another. Advocates argue passionately, and many people proclaim that education should be a fundamental right for all individuals. The main loophole of this issue is that the most significant weakness or gap in the argument. The main loophole of this issue is that it creates unintended consequences, affecting those it was meant to protect. The main loophole of this issue is that it overlooks key legal implications that could lead to future challenges. A growing number of people. An increasing amount of individuals. A growing number of people are shifting towards plant-based diets due to health and environmental concerns. A growing number of people are choosing to work remotely, appreciating the flexibility and work-life balance it provides. One major pitfall of X. A significant disadvantage or risk associated with. One major pitfall of relying solely on technology is that it can create a dependency, reducing critical thinking skills. One major pitfall of working from home is the lack of social interaction, which may lead to feelings of isolation. Another common shortcoming of a frequently seen flaw or weakness in something. Another common shortcoming of renewable energy sources is the intermittent availability of wind and solar power. Another common shortcoming of the healthcare system is the long waiting times for specialized treatments and surgeries. An additional advantage of a further benefit or positive aspect of something. An additional advantage of learning multiple languages is the enhanced cognitive ability and improved memory retention. An additional advantage of a plant-based diet is the potential for lower cholesterol levels, promoting better heart health. It is my conviction that I firmly believe that it is my conviction that innovation in science and technology is the key to solving many of the world's pressing issues. It is my conviction that sustainable development must be prioritized to ensure a better future for the coming generations. The most obvious advantage of the clearest benefit or positive aspect of something. The most obvious advantage of electric vehicles is the significant reduction in carbon emissions, helping combat climate change. The most obvious advantage of learning a new language is the ability to communicate with a broader range of people worldwide. One of the most important benefits of a key positive aspect or advantage of something. One of the most important benefits of regular exercise is the improvement of cardiovascular health and overall fitness. One of the most important benefits of reading regularly is the enhancement of cognitive abilities and vocabulary expansion. I would like to add that I want to include another point or opinion. I would like to add that implementing these measures will not only reduce costs, but also improve overall efficiency. I would like to add that the research findings strongly support the need for further investigation into the proposed hypothesis. It has been shown that evidence has demonstrated that it has been shown that individuals who meditate regularly experience reduced stress levels and improved mental clarity. It has been shown that companies with diverse workforces tend to perform better financially and foster more innovation. The advantages are stronger than the drawbacks. The benefits outweigh the disadvantages. The advantages are stronger than the drawbacks when it comes to adopting renewable energy, despite initial setup costs. The advantages are stronger than the drawbacks in implementing stricter environmental policies, as they protect ecosystems long term. It is equally important, of the same significance or value, It is equally important to maintain a balance between work and personal life, to avoid burnout and increase productivity. It is equally important for businesses to focus on customer satisfaction, as well as employee well-being for sustainable growth. Another essential point. An additional crucial aspect or argument. Another essential point is ensuring that all stakeholders have a voice in decision-making processes for greater inclusivity. Another essential point to remember is that continuous feedback helps improve project outcomes and team performance. Several explanations have been offered. Multiple interpretations have been provided. Several explanations have been offered to justify the recent economic downturn, ranging from supply chain issues to inflation. Several explanations have been offered for the sudden drop in wildlife populations, with climate change being the primary factor. In the long run, over an extended period, eventually. In the long run, adopting sustainable business practices will lead to cost savings and a positive environmental impact. In the long run, investing in education will yield significant benefits for both individuals and society as a whole. It is a very convincing argument. A statement or reason that is highly persuasive. It is a very convincing argument that renewable energy is not only cost-effective, but also crucial for reducing carbon emissions. It is a very convincing argument that a plant-based diet contributes to better health outcomes and reduces environmental impact. This viewpoint is flawed. This perspective has weaknesses or inaccuracies. This viewpoint is flawed as it overlooks the complexities involved in implementing such a policy on a global scale. This viewpoint is flawed because it ignores the evidence showing the clear benefits of investing in public healthcare systems. There is growing apprehension on increasing concern or worry about something. There is growing apprehension on the political instability in the region, which could have serious global economic consequences. There is growing apprehension on the environmental damage caused by deforestation, particularly in vital rainforests like the Amazon. In the same fashion, in a similar way or manner. In the same fashion, businesses should prioritize employee well-being, just as they focus on improving customer satisfaction. In the same fashion, schools must adapt their teaching methods to better engage students in a rapidly changing technological world. In like manner, Similarly, in the same way, in like manner, cities around the world are adopting green infrastructure to mitigate the effects of climate change. In like manner, companies are rethinking their supply chains to reduce waste and increase efficiency in production. As a matter of fact, actually, indeed, used to emphasize a statement. As a matter of fact, solar energy is one of the fastest growing renewable energy sources, with increasing adoption worldwide. As a matter of fact, data from recent surveys indicate that more people are concerned about climate change than ever before. There is considerable concern about it. There is a significant amount of worry or anxiety. There is considerable concern about it in the financial sector, particularly due to rising inflation rates and economic instability. There is considerable concern about it among parents, who worry about the negative effects of excessive screen time on children. These factors contribute to. These aspects play a role in causing something. These factors contribute to the rising rates of obesity, as unhealthy diets and sedentary lifestyles become more common. These factors contribute to the company's competitive advantage, allowing it to innovate and stay ahead in the global market. It can be concluded that a determination or judgment can be made. It can be concluded that a strong foundation in early education is crucial for academic and personal success in later life. It can be concluded that stricter environmental policies are necessary to combat the ongoing issues of climate change and pollution. People have mixed feelings about. Individuals have both positive and negative emotions. People have mixed feelings about working from home, as it offers flexibility but can also blur the lines between work and life. People have mixed feelings about the rapid development of urban areas, which often comes at the expense of green spaces. The policy has been widely advocated. The policy has received significant support. The policy has been widely advocated by healthcare professionals, emphasizing its potential to improve patient care and outcomes. The policy has been widely advocated in the tech industry, as it encourages innovation while maintaining ethical standards. There is room for argument about it. There is potential for debate or differing opinions. There is room for argument about it, particularly regarding how the policy will impact small businesses in the short term. There is room for argument about it when considering the long-term feasibility of implementing renewable energy across all sectors. There is widespread support for a broad level of agreement or backing for something. There is widespread support for policies promoting work-life balance, especially in industries known for high levels of stress. There is widespread support for increasing funding in education, as many see it as essential for preparing future generations. The argument for this is that the reasoning or justification for a particular point. The argument for this is that reducing screen time for children improves their social skills and overall mental well-being. The argument for this is that preventive healthcare measures are more cost-effective than treating chronic illnesses later on. I would counter this view because I disagree with this opinion for the following reasons. I would counter this view because there is sufficient evidence to suggest that the current approach is ineffective. I would counter this view because recent studies indicate a different trend that challenges the previous assumptions. It is a challenging question. This question is difficult to answer. It is a challenging question that requires careful consideration of multiple perspectives before reaching a conclusion. It is a challenging question, mainly because there are conflicting opinions and limited data to draw a definite answer. X is a topic of broad interest. X is something that many people care about. Climate change is a topic of broad interest, engaging scientists, policymakers, and the general public across the globe. Artificial intelligence is a topic of broad interest, due to its potential to revolutionize various aspects of society and industry. Nobody knows why. No one understands the reason behind this. Nobody knows why the system crashed unexpectedly, despite running smoothly for several weeks without any issues. Nobody knows why certain diseases emerge, while others seem to remain dormant for centuries without affecting the population. Many people believe that a lot of individuals think or hold the opinion that many people believe that technological advances are essential for improving the quality of life and economic growth. Many people believe that a healthy work-life balance is crucial for maintaining mental well-being and productivity. The issue remains fully disputed. There is still disagreement about this matter. The issue remains fully disputed among experts, with no clear consensus on the best approach to address the problem. The issue remains fully disputed, as both sides present compelling arguments supported by substantial evidence. It would seem logical to. It appears reasonable to do something. It would seem logical to assume that increased investment in renewable energy would lead to a reduction in carbon emissions. It would seem logical to conclude that better education on health practices could help reduce the spread of infectious diseases. Despite the fact that, even though something is true, despite the fact that significant progress has been made, there are still many challenges that need to be addressed. Despite the fact that technology has advanced rapidly, certain industries still rely on outdated and inefficient methods. This is an issue of public concern. This affects many people and is important to them. This is an issue of public concern because it affects the health and well-being of millions of people worldwide. This is an issue of public concern, as it could lead to serious economic consequences, if not addressed promptly. X is the main focus of attention. X is what people are mainly concentrating on. Climate change is the main focus of attention in international environmental conferences and discussions worldwide. The upcoming election is the main focus of attention in the media, with extensive coverage of each candidate's campaign. The worst part of this, the most negative aspect of this situation, the worst part of this issue is the lack of transparency in how the funds are allocated and spent by the authorities. The worst part of this situation is the negative impact it has on people who are already struggling to make ends meet. There are both positive and negative sides. There are advantages and disadvantages to this issue. There are both positive and negative sides to the rapid development of artificial intelligence in modern society. There are both positive and negative sides to implementing strict regulations on international trade practices. Every now and then, occasionally or sometimes, every now and then, it's important to take a step back and re-evaluate the overall strategy to ensure success. Every now and then, unexpected challenges arise that require a quick and effective response from the management team. X has always been an issue of heated debate. X is a topic that people frequently argue about. Climate change has always been an issue of heated debate among scientists, politicians, and environmental activists. The legalization of certain drugs has always been an issue of heated debate, with strong arguments on both sides. The issues have a popularized public view. These matters are widely discussed by the public. The issues have a popularized public view that often oversimplifies the complexities involved in finding viable solutions. The issues have a popularized public view, especially due to the influence of social media and mainstream news outlets. To be more specific, I want to clarify or provide additional details. To be more specific, the study found that students who used digital tools performed better than those who did not. To be more specific, the proposed changes would impact small businesses by increasing their operating costs. It is a clear indication that this strongly suggests that something is true. The recent increase in temperatures is a clear indication that climate change is becoming more severe and widespread. The rise in unemployment rates is a clear indication that the economy is facing significant challenges and requires intervention. There is a contradiction between X and Y. X and Y are saying opposite things. There is a contradiction between the benefits promoted by the product and the reported side effects by its users. There is a contradiction between the government's environmental policy and its support for non-renewable energy projects. On a regular basis, frequently or consistently. On a regular basis, the organization conducts audits to ensure that all operations comply with international standards. On a regular basis, experts recommend updating software to protect devices from potential security vulnerabilities. Numerous studies have shown. Many research projects have demonstrated a specific finding. Numerous studies have shown that a balanced diet can significantly improve physical and mental health over time. Numerous studies have shown the benefits of early childhood education in shaping a child's future academic success. X is adversely affected by. X is negatively impacted by something. The local ecosystem is adversely affected by the construction of new factories along the riverbanks, harming wildlife. Human health is adversely affected by long-term exposure to air pollution, particularly in densely populated urban areas. There is a strong probability. It is very likely that something will happen. There is a strong probability that changes in government policy will affect the way businesses operate across the country. There is a strong probability that artificial intelligence will play a major role in future workplace environments. It is widely accepted that Many people agree that something is true. It is widely accepted that renewable energy sources are key to addressing the global challenge of climate change. It is widely accepted that effective communication skills are essential for success in both personal and professional life. Rapid advances are being made. Progress is occurring quickly in a certain area. Rapid advances are being made in renewable energy technologies, making them more efficient and affordable for consumers. Rapid advances are being made in medical research, bringing hope for finding cures to previously untreatable diseases. It is widely believed that many people hold the belief that something is true. It is widely believed that technology will continue to play a major role in shaping the future of education. It is widely believed that effective leadership is critical for the success of any organization or business venture. It is frequently asserted that it is often stated or claimed that something is true. It is frequently asserted that digital transformation is necessary for businesses to remain competitive in today's market. It is frequently asserted that investment in education yields long-term benefits for economic growth and social stability. Considerable progress has been made. Significant improvements have been achieved. Considerable progress has been made in the field of renewable energy, making it a viable alternative to fossil fuels. Considerable progress has been made in cancer research, leading to improved treatment options and survival rates. It is a technological breakthrough. This is a significant advancement in technology. The creation of efficient solar panels is a technological breakthrough that could help reduce reliance on non-renewable energy. The use of artificial intelligence in healthcare is a technological breakthrough with the potential to improve patient outcomes. It is widely argued that many people claim or discuss that something is true. It is widely argued that stricter gun control laws would help reduce the rate of violent crimes in urban areas. It is widely argued that renewable energy investments are essential for mitigating the effects of climate change. It is generally acknowledged that most people agree that something is true. It is generally acknowledged that human activities contribute to the worsening effects of climate change across the globe. It is generally acknowledged that access to clean water is a fundamental human right that should be available to all. X is generally regarded as X is often seen or considered to be something. Renewable energy is generally regarded as a sustainable solution to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. The United Nations is generally regarded as a key player in promoting peace and stability across the world. A significant number of people. Many individuals or a large portion of a group. A significant number of people are concerned about the long-term impact of deforestation on global ecosystems. A significant number of people believe that stricter environmental policies are necessary to combat climate change. A substantial amount of money. A large sum of money. A substantial amount of money is being invested in renewable energy projects to make them more accessible to the public. A substantial amount of money was allocated for the reconstruction of infrastructure after the natural disaster struck the area. Over the last few decades. During the past 30 years or so. Over the last few decades, there has been a significant increase in global awareness about environmental sustainability. Over the last few decades, technology has transformed almost every aspect of daily life, from communication to healthcare. A considerable number of visitors. Many people come to a place. A considerable number of visitors flock to the historic landmark each year, making it a major tourist attraction. A considerable number of visitors attend the annual art festival, showcasing diverse works from local and international artists. In the last century. During the past 100 years. In the last century, human civilization has experienced rapid industrialization, urbanization, and globalization. In the last century, significant strides have been taken toward achieving equality and human rights for all individuals. Which in turn leads to this causes something else to happen. Better educational programs promote higher literacy rates, which in turn leads to greater economic growth and stability. Improved transportation infrastructure facilitates trade, which in turn leads to more job opportunities for local communities. At the turn of the century. During a significant historical transition. At the turn of the century, new political ideologies emerged, leading to shifts in governance structures across many nations. At the turn of the century, there was a surge in industrialization, which changed the way goods were manufactured and distributed. It is apparent that it is clear or obvious that something is true. It is apparent that the rise of social media has changed the way people communicate and interact with each other. It is apparent that technological innovations are driving the modern economy toward rapid growth and development. From an economic perspective, considering a situation based on economic factors. From an economic perspective, investing in renewable energy can lead to long-term cost savings and job creation. From an economic perspective, government subsidies can stimulate growth in emerging industries, such as electric vehicles. Throughout history. During all periods of history. Throughout history, political conflicts have often been triggered by struggles over resources and territorial boundaries. Throughout history, scientific discoveries have consistently led to technological advancements that reshape societies. It is justifiable to say that it is reasonable to claim something is true. It is justifiable to say that investing in education can yield substantial benefits for the nation's overall development. It is justifiable to say that stricter environmental regulations are necessary to protect our planet from further damage. During the past century. In the last 100 years. During the past century, global trade networks have expanded, leading to unprecedented levels of economic interdependence. During the past century, the automotive industry has evolved from simple designs to sophisticated, electric-powered vehicles. From a historical perspective. Looking at something based on historical context. From a historical perspective, wars often lead to technological innovations that later find civilian applications. From a historical perspective, the Renaissance period played a crucial role in shaping modern Western art and philosophy. It is a proven fact that something that has been demonstrated to be true. It is a proven fact that higher education levels tend to correlate with increased earning potential and job opportunities. It is a proven fact that smoking is directly linked to a range of serious health issues, including lung cancer and heart disease. X is regarded as a top priority. X is considered extremely important. Promoting education for all children is regarded as a top priority by many international organizations. Protecting endangered species is regarded as a top priority by environmental conservation groups worldwide. We cannot deny the fact that we must accept that something is true. We cannot deny the fact that economic inequality is a growing concern in many parts of the world. We cannot deny the fact that technological advancements have improved the quality of life for many people. According to a recent survey, based on the findings of a new survey. According to a recent survey, most consumers are willing to pay more for environmentally friendly products. According to a recent survey, a majority of people prefer remote work arrangements over traditional office settings. This is a widely held belief that many people believe that something is true. This is a widely held belief that regular physical activity contributes significantly to overall health and wellness. This is a widely held belief that technological innovation is essential for economic progress and competitiveness. There is a tendency towards this. People are inclined to prefer or do something. There is a tendency towards this shift from traditional forms of media to digital and social media platforms. There is a tendency towards this increasing reliance on technology for managing everyday tasks and communications. There is compelling evidence that strong proof exists to support a claim. There is compelling evidence that a balanced diet can prevent many chronic diseases and improve life expectancy. There is compelling evidence that early childhood education has long-lasting benefits on a child's development and success. X should be prioritized over any other things. X is more important than anything else. Public safety should be prioritized over any other things when planning urban infrastructure and development. Protecting the environment should be prioritized over any other things to ensure a sustainable future for all. With the booming of agriculture. As agriculture grows rapidly. With the booming of agriculture, food production increased, enabling many nations to sustain larger populations. With the booming of agriculture, trade in agricultural products has expanded, boosting economies worldwide. Advancement in science and technology. Progress in scientific and technological fields. Advancement in science and technology has paved the way for groundbreaking discoveries in medicine and healthcare. Advancement in science and technology has transformed the way we live, work, and communicate with one another. Having a huge demand for something. There is a great need or desire for something. Organic foods are having a huge demand for their perceived health benefits and natural production methods. Smartphones are having a huge demand for their versatility, allowing users to perform numerous tasks on the go. It is paramount to consider. It is extremely important to think about something. It is paramount to consider the long-term consequences of deforestation on the ecosystem and biodiversity. It is paramount to consider the impact of social media on mental health, especially among younger generations. It has drawn great public attention. It has attracted significant interest from the public. Climate change has drawn great public attention due to its visible impact on natural disasters and weather patterns. Mental health awareness campaigns have drawn great public attention over the past few years, especially after the pandemic. It is somewhat logical to compare. It makes sense to make a comparison. It is somewhat logical to compare the effectiveness of different healthcare systems in terms of accessibility and quality of care. It is somewhat logical to compare various communication platforms when deciding which is best for business collaboration. Therefore, it can be said that, as a result, one can conclude something. Therefore, it can be said that implementing stricter regulations on carbon emissions is essential for tackling climate change. Therefore, it can be said that promoting physical activity in schools can lead to healthier and more active future generations. One logical conclusion would be, a reasonable deduction can be made. One logical conclusion would be that healthier eating habits can significantly reduce the risk of chronic diseases. One logical conclusion would be that more investment in public transport can help reduce urban traffic congestion. To be capable of doing something. Having the ability to do something. To be capable of doing effective public speaking, it is important to practice regularly and build confidence. To be capable of doing advanced research, a thorough understanding of the subject matter is essential. These are useful for all age groups. These are beneficial for people of every age. Educational programs that promote healthy eating habits are useful for all age groups, from children to seniors. Basic computer skills are useful for all age groups, given the increasing reliance on digital devices in daily life. All things considered, one can conclude. Taking everything, a conclusion can be drawn. All things considered, one can conclude that renewable energy is the best alternative for a sustainable future. All things considered, one can conclude that education reform is necessary to prepare students for future job markets. X has become an indispensable part of our life. X is essential and necessary in our lives. Smartphones have become an indispensable part of our life, providing convenience and easy access to information. Social media has become an indispensable part of our life, influencing how we interact and share information. I cannot altogether agree with. I cannot fully agree with something. I cannot altogether agree with the notion that technology has only positive effects on society, as it also has drawbacks. I cannot altogether agree with the argument that stricter regulations on businesses always hinder economic growth. In the final analysis, when everything has been considered, in the final analysis, it is evident that renewable energy investments are necessary for combating climate change. In the final analysis, education remains the most effective tool for alleviating poverty and improving living standards. It should be emphasized that it is important to highlight or stress something. It should be emphasized that maintaining a balanced diet is crucial for overall physical and mental health. It should be emphasized that early diagnosis and treatment are essential for effectively managing chronic illnesses. It is commonly asserted that it is often claimed that something is true. It is commonly asserted that regular exercise improves physical health and reduces the risk of many diseases. It is commonly asserted that technological advancements have led to significant improvements in communication. There is a strong possibility of. There is a high chance that something may happen. There is a strong possibility of improving healthcare outcomes with the integration of artificial intelligence in diagnostics. There is a strong possibility of a rise in online education, even after traditional schools resume normal operations. It is generally admitted that most people agree that something is true. It is generally admitted that early childhood education is vital for the holistic development of children. It is generally admitted that physical activity contributes positively to both mental and physical well-being. To participate in language classes. To take part in classes that teach languages. Students are encouraged to participate in language classes to gain proficiency in a second or even third language. To participate in language classes effectively, one must practice speaking and listening regularly outside of lessons. For the need of education development. To address the requirements for improving education. Government funding is crucial for the need of education development, especially in rural and underserved areas. New teaching methodologies are being introduced for the need of education development in modern digital classrooms. Needless to say, X has a major impact on. It is obvious that X significantly influences something. Needless to say, technology has a major impact on how businesses operate and compete in the global market. Needless to say, healthcare infrastructure has a major impact on the quality of life and longevity of a population. A simplistic solution to this problem. A simple answer that may not address the issue fully. A simplistic solution to this problem would be banning cars in cities, ignoring the necessity for efficient public transport. A simplistic solution to this problem is to impose heavy fines, which may not address the root cause of the behavior. One potential solution to this problem. A possible way to fix an issue. One potential solution to this problem is investing in renewable energy sources to reduce global reliance on fossil fuels. By improving public transportation systems, one potential solution to this problem of urban traffic congestion can be found. There is an insurmountable impact on. An effect that cannot be overcome. The rise in global temperatures has created an insurmountable impact on polar ice caps, leading to rising sea levels. There is an insurmountable impact on the mental health of students when academic pressures are left unaddressed. This approach is well worth considering. This method should be thought about seriously. If we want long-term financial stability, this approach is well worth considering in our business strategies. Given its potential to reduce carbon emissions, this approach is well worth considering in future environmental policies. There is no panacea for the setbacks. There is no single solution for difficulties. While technological advancements help, there is no panacea for the setbacks faced by industries in a global recession. There is no panacea for the setbacks caused by climate change, but reducing emissions is an essential starting point. People need a functional approach to. A practical method is necessary for something. To maintain long-term financial stability, people need a functional approach to budgeting, saving, and investing wisely. In order to tackle climate change effectively, people need a functional approach to reducing their individual carbon footprints. Social and economic progress. Improvement in society and the economy. Education reforms play a crucial role in driving social and economic progress in developing nations with limited resources. Social and economic progress must prioritize inclusivity, ensuring marginalized groups have equal access to opportunities and services. They are addicted to video games. They have a compulsive dependence on gaming. It is important to set boundaries for those who are addicted to video games to prevent negative consequences on mental health. Children who are addicted to video games often struggle with time management, leading to poor study habits and missed deadlines. Apologizing for misconduct. Expressing regret for inappropriate behavior. After a public outcry, the politician finally addressed the scandal, apologizing for misconduct and vowing to regain public trust. Apologizing for misconduct is crucial in rebuilding trust after any major organizational error, especially when public trust is involved. One serious problem is inherent in. A significant issue is a natural part of something. One serious problem is inherent in the current healthcare system. It is inaccessible to large segments of the population. One serious problem is inherent in social media platforms, which allow the rapid spread of misinformation and harmful content. One unavoidable outcome of X. A result that cannot be avoided from a situation. One unavoidable outcome of economic inequality is the widening gap between the wealthy and the impoverished in society. One unavoidable outcome of technological advancements is job displacement in industries where automation replaces human labor. To be confident of economic stability. To have assurance regarding a steady economy. For families to be confident of economic stability, they should prioritize long-term savings and diversify their income sources. Investors must consider both short-term risks and long-term gains to be confident of economic stability in volatile markets. Be harmful to animals. To cause damage or injury to animals. Pollution in oceans has been proven to be harmful to animals, with marine life often consuming plastics and other toxic materials. Keeping wild animals in captivity without proper care can be harmful to animals, affecting their mental and physical health. This is convenient for public institutions. This is helpful or suitable for government organizations. Offering online education platforms is convenient for public institutions seeking to reach a broader audience at lower costs. Centralized databases make it convenient for public institutions to access real-time information, improving decision-making processes. The problem has been compounded by. The issue has been made worse due to something. The problem has been compounded by years of neglect, making it even harder to resolve the issue of infrastructure decay. The environmental crisis has been compounded by widespread deforestation, further exacerbating climate change and habitat destruction. X has adverse side effects on. X negatively affects something. The new medication has adverse side effects on some patients, including dizziness, nausea, and increased blood pressure. Excessive screen time has adverse side effects on children's development, affecting their attention span and social skills. Social status and hierarchy. The levels of importance or rank in society. Social status and hierarchy often perpetuate inequality, limiting upward mobility for those from less privileged backgrounds. Social status and hierarchy play a significant role in many cultures, influencing interactions, job opportunities, and even marriage prospects. There is a significant impact on. There is a notable effect on something. The rise in living costs has a significant impact on low-income families, making it difficult for them to meet basic needs. There is a significant impact on biodiversity when natural habitats are destroyed to make way for urban expansion and agriculture. This is indirectly related to. This is connected in a roundabout way to something. Poor student performance is indirectly related to insufficient teacher training, which affects the quality of education provided. The growing mental health crisis is indirectly related to the widespread use of social media and its impact on self-esteem. It relieves social tension and stress. It reduces anxiety and conflict in society. Physical activities like yoga and meditation are known to relieve social tension and stress, promoting overall well-being. Participating in community events often relieves social tension and stress, creating opportunities for people to connect and unwind. Give top priority to the immediate problem. Focus mainly on the urgent issue. When disaster strikes, emergency services give top priority to the immediate problem of ensuring safety and preventing further damage. Governments need to give top priority to the immediate problem of unemployment, as it directly affects the country's economic stability. There is a direct relationship between X and Y. X and Y are closely connected. Studies have shown there is a direct relationship between income levels and access to quality healthcare in many countries. There is a direct relationship between education and employment opportunities, with higher education levels leading to better job prospects. To promote mutual understanding. To encourage shared conception between groups. International organizations work tirelessly to promote mutual understanding among nations to foster peace and global cooperation. Hosting regular community meetings can help to promote mutual understanding between local residents and municipal authorities. Another factor contributing to. An additional reason leading to something. Another factor contributing to the high dropout rate is the lack of adequate support systems for struggling students in schools. Another factor contributing to rising healthcare costs is the increasing price of prescription medications in many countries. A number of drawbacks have resulted from. Several negative effects have come from something. A number of drawbacks have resulted from over-reliance on fossil fuels, including environmental degradation and air pollution. Economic instability and inflation are some of the drawbacks that have resulted from poorly executed government policies. Focus on the leading reasons. Concentrate on the most important causes. Healthcare reform discussions should focus on the leading reasons behind the rising costs and declining quality of services. It is essential to focus on the leading reasons for student underperformance rather than just treating the symptoms. It is important to realize. It is crucial to understand something. It is important to realize that mental health is just as crucial as physical health for overall well-being and happiness. It is important to realize the long-term consequences of deforestation, as it could lead to irreversible damage to ecosystems. There are a number of facts indicating that. Several pieces of information suggest something. There are a number of facts indicating that the current economic policies have led to increased income inequality across various sectors. There are a number of facts indicating that pollution levels are directly linked to the decline in biodiversity in heavily industrialized regions. There are numerous reasons why. There are many explanations for something. There are numerous reasons why remote work has become popular, ranging from improved work-life balance to the reduction of commuting costs. There are numerous reasons why renewable energy should be prioritized, such as sustainability, reducing carbon emissions, and energy independence. From time to time. Occasionally or at certain intervals. From time to time, it's important to take a break from work and recharge, ensuring you stay productive and focused. From time to time, even the most well-maintained machines need servicing to ensure they continue functioning at their best. One convincing explanation in favor of. A strong reason supporting something. One convincing explanation in favor of renewable energy is the long-term sustainability it offers compared to finite fossil fuels. One convincing explanation in favor of stricter gun control laws is the potential to reduce gun violence and mass shootings. In the final analysis. Ultimately, or when all factors are considered. In the final analysis, it's the voters who will decide the outcome of the election, no matter how the polls may fluctuate. In the final analysis, the success of the project depends on how effectively the team can collaborate and execute the strategy. In many countries around the world. In numerous nations globally. In many countries around the world, access to clean water is still a major issue that affects millions of people. In many countries around the world, healthcare remains a privilege rather than a right, with millions lacking access to basic medical care. People overlook the fact that people fail to notice something important. People sometimes overlook the fact that learning from failure is a key aspect of achieving long-term success and growth. People overlook the fact that wealth inequality is one of the root causes of many social and economic issues in society. There has been little agreement on. There is a lack of consensus about something. There has been little agreement on how to fund universal healthcare, with debates continuing over taxes and government spending. There has been little agreement on the future of artificial intelligence regulation, with ethical considerations at the forefront of discussions. An alternative method has been used. A different technique has been implemented. An alternative method has been used to treat the patient's condition, after the conventional approach proved ineffective. For data analysis, an alternative method has been used to increase efficiency, utilizing artificial intelligence to automate certain tasks. It has become a ubiquitous part of learning. It is now found everywhere in education. Distance education has become a ubiquitous part of learning, offering flexible options for students who cannot attend traditional schools. Interactive software has become a ubiquitous part of learning in classrooms, allowing students to engage with educational content in new ways. It is a gateway to knowledge. It provides access to information and learning. The Internet is a gateway to knowledge, giving people from all over the world access to educational resources and information. Books are a gateway to knowledge, opening up new perspectives and insights into the world for those who take the time to read. A strong link may exist between X and Y. There could be a major connection between X and Y. A strong link may exist between poor air quality and respiratory diseases, especially in areas with high levels of pollution. A strong link may exist between economic stability and political stability, with countries prospering when both are in harmony. This is not yet clear. This is still uncertain or unknown. While the initial findings are promising, the long-term impact of the new treatment is not yet clear and requires further study. The true extent of the economic damage caused by the recent recession is not yet clear, with analysts still assessing the data. It is now considered a worldwide epidemic. It is currently recognized as a global health crisis. Obesity is now considered a worldwide epidemic, affecting millions and placing an enormous strain on healthcare systems globally. The rise in mental health disorders is now considered a worldwide epidemic, with increasing cases of depression and anxiety being reported. There is a school of thought. There is a particular way of thinking about. There is a school of thought that believes artificial intelligence could surpass human intelligence within the next few decades. There is a school of thought that suggests prioritizing mental health education in schools could prevent future social and emotional issues. It is no longer possible. It cannot happen anymore. In the age of information, it is no longer possible for governments to suppress public knowledge without facing widespread backlash. Given the scale of global challenges, it is no longer possible for nations to operate in isolation without collaborating on common issues. There is an ongoing debate on. People are currently discussing a particular issue. There is an ongoing debate on whether artificial intelligence should be regulated to prevent ethical violations. In academic circles, there is an ongoing debate on the effectiveness of standardized testing in education. The bottom line is this. The most important point is that. The bottom line is this. We need to increase efficiency if we want to remain competitive in the market. The bottom line is this. Customer satisfaction directly correlates with business success and long-term growth. These are important driving factors. These are significant reasons or influences. Consumer demand and technological innovation are important driving factors behind the company's recent success. These are important driving factors for the rising popularity of electric vehicles among environmentally conscious consumers. Perhaps the most important factor. This may be the most crucial element. Perhaps the most important factor in achieving success is maintaining consistency and dedication over time. Perhaps the most important factor in climate change mitigation is reducing global carbon emissions immediately. It is a fundamental property of. It is a basic characteristic of something. It is a fundamental property of water that it expands when it freezes, unlike most other substances. It is a fundamental property of democracy that citizens have the right to vote and participate in government. A common opinion is that many people believe that. A common opinion is that smartphones have drastically improved communication and connectivity in modern society. A common opinion is that climate change poses a serious threat to future generations and requires urgent action. It has increased throughout the period. It has grown during a specific time frame. The company's market share has increased throughout the period, especially following its latest product launch. The level of public awareness regarding mental health issues has increased throughout the period of the last decade. It has major public health concern. It is a significant issue affecting public health. The rise in antibiotic resistance has major public health concern due to its impact on treating bacterial infections. The growing rate of obesity has major public health concern, leading to an increase in chronic diseases worldwide. It has become a central issue. It has turned into a main topic of discussion. Climate change has become a central issue in international policy, discussions, and environmental protection efforts. Cybersecurity has become a central issue for corporations, as they face growing threats from hackers and data breaches. X has profound health consequences. X has significant effects on health. Chronic stress has profound health consequences, leading to conditions like hypertension and weakened immune systems. A lack of physical activity has profound health consequences, increasing the risk of obesity and cardiovascular disease. The primary concern of X is that the main worry of X is that the primary concern of climate scientists is that current efforts are insufficient to curb global warming. The primary concern of parents is that excessive screen time negatively impacts children's cognitive development. It can be divided into two main categories. It can be separated into two primary groups. Marketing strategies can be divided into two main categories: digital and traditional media approaches. The study of human behavior can be divided into two main categories: psychological and sociological analysis. It has been studied by many experts. Many specialists have researched it. The impact of climate change on biodiversity has been studied by many experts across various scientific disciplines. The effects of exercise on cardiovascular health have been studied by many experts in the medical community. It has been extensively used. It has been used a lot or widely. Artificial intelligence has been extensively used in industries like healthcare, finance, and automotive. The method of carbon dating has been extensively used to determine the age of ancient artifacts and fossils. Past studies have reported. Previous research has indicated or revealed. Past studies have reported that diet plays a crucial role in preventing heart disease and maintaining overall health. Past studies have reported significant improvements in cognitive function among individuals who practice meditation regularly. This can be classified in terms of. This can be categorized based on specific criteria. The project's goals can be classified in terms of short-term and long-term objectives for sustainable growth. This phenomenon can be classified in terms of its social, economic, and environmental impact on communities. The current research found that a recent study discovered that the current research found that early intervention improves outcomes for children with developmental delays. The current research found that remote work increases employee productivity and job satisfaction in most industries. It is graded on the basis of. It is assessed according to certain criteria. Employee performance is graded on the basis of their productivity, teamwork, and overall contribution to the company. The project's success is graded on the basis of its impact on community development and environmental sustainability. It has become a subject of intense debate. It is now a highly discussed topic. The ethics of gene editing have become a subject of intense debate among scientists and ethicists worldwide. The regulation of cryptocurrency markets has become a subject of intense debate within financial and legal communities. The results of the topic indicate that the findings suggest that the results of the topic indicate that climate change is accelerating at a much faster rate than previously anticipated. The results of the topic indicate that access to clean water directly correlates with improved public health outcomes. There are certain problems associated with. There are specific issues related to. There are certain problems associated with the use of fossil fuels, including environmental degradation and pollution. There are certain problems associated with overpopulation, such as resource depletion and housing shortages. In the 1940s and 1960s. During the decades of the 1940s and 1960s. In the 1940s and 1960s, advances in medicine significantly reduced mortality rates from infectious diseases. In the 1940s and 1960s, major technological innovations transformed industries, like manufacturing and transportation. It has widely been published. It has been published in many places and frequently. The groundbreaking study on climate change has widely been published in numerous scientific journals worldwide. The connection between nutrition and mental health has widely been published by leading academic institutions. The central thesis of this research. The main argument or idea of this study. The central thesis of this research focuses on the relationship between digital literacy and employment opportunities. The central thesis of this research argues that climate change mitigation requires international cooperation and policy alignment. The main objective of this study is. The primary goal of this research is. The main objective of this study is to examine the effects of remote work on employee productivity and mental health. The main objective of this study is to understand the correlation between sleep patterns and cognitive performance in adults. A broader perspective has been demonstrated. A wider view has been shown or proven. A broader perspective has been demonstrated in the research, highlighting the global impact of climate change. A broader perspective has been demonstrated in this study, by integrating both psychological and economic approaches. This research highlights the need for. This study emphasizes the necessity for. This research highlights the need for greater investment in renewable energy technologies to combat climate change. This research highlights the need for mental health services to be integrated into primary care systems worldwide. There are three key aims of this study. This study has three main goals. There are three key aims of this study: to assess patient outcomes, improve treatment protocols, and enhance quality of care. There are three key aims of this study: to examine environmental sustainability, reduce carbon emissions, and promote green technologies. A methodological approach has been taken. A specific research method has been used. A methodological approach has been taken to evaluate the effectiveness of cognitive behavioral therapy in treating anxiety. A methodological approach has been taken to measure the impact of environmental regulations on corporate sustainability practices. This view is supported by many people. Many individuals agree with this perspective. This view is supported by many people in the scientific community, particularly those researching renewable energy solutions. This view is supported by many people, especially economists, who advocate for raising the minimum wage to reduce poverty. Another potential problem is that there is another possible issue that Another potential problem is that excessive screen time could lead to long-term negative effects on children's development. Another potential problem is that the cost of implementing renewable energy solutions might exceed the projected budget. The link between social and cultural development. The relationship between society and culture growth. The link between social and cultural development can be seen in the way education systems shape societal values. The link between social and cultural development is evident in how media influences public perceptions and behaviors. In the subsequent part of the study. In the following section of the research. In the subsequent part of the study, researchers will focus on analyzing the long-term effects of environmental degradation. In the subsequent part of the study, the participants' behavior will be observed over a 6-month period to track changes. It has been demonstrated that it has been proven that it has been demonstrated that early exposure to different languages enhances cognitive abilities in young children. It has been demonstrated that regular physical exercise significantly reduces the risk of developing chronic diseases. X is a topic of public interest. X is something that many people care about. Climate change is a topic of public interest, sparking debates among policymakers, scientists, and environmentalists. The future of renewable energy is a topic of public interest, as it affects economic growth and environmental sustainability. From the recent experiment. Based on findings from the latest test or study. From the recent experiment, the data revealed that participants with healthy diets had better mental health outcomes. From the recent experiment, it was concluded that higher temperatures significantly accelerate the rate of chemical reactions. It provides an in-depth analysis of. It offers a detailed examination of. The book provides an in-depth analysis of human behavior during periods of extreme social and political change. The documentary provides an in-depth analysis of how social media influences public opinion and political discourse. The study has been divided into 3 parts. The research is organized into 3 sections. The study has been divided into 3 parts: a review of existing literature, a survey of participants, and a conclusion. The study has been divided into 3 parts, each focusing on different environmental impacts of industrial pollution. The overall structure of the project. The general organization of the project. The overall structure of the project ensures that both qualitative and quantitative data are carefully examined. The overall structure of the project follows a systematic approach, from hypothesis development to testing and analysis. It has been suggested that someone has proposed that it has been suggested that promoting physical activity in schools can lead to better academic performance in students. It has been suggested that increasing public awareness about mental health can reduce the stigma surrounding psychological disorders. Throughout this research of the project, during the entire research process of the project, throughout this research of the project, multiple methodologies were applied to ensure accurate and reliable results. Throughout this research of the project, significant attention was given to the ethical implications of data collection. Several attempts have been made. Many efforts have been made. Several attempts have been made to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but the results have been slow and inconsistent. Several attempts have been made to create a universal healthcare system, though political opposition remains strong. Information collected from several sources. Data gathered from multiple origins. Information collected from several sources confirmed the link between air pollution and respiratory diseases. Information collected from several sources indicated a rising trend in global carbon emissions over the last decade. A considerable amount of time. A large period of time. A considerable amount of time was spent analyzing the data before drawing any conclusions about the experiment. A considerable amount of time is required to fully understand the long-term effects of climate change on ecosystems. X is largely based upon empirical research. X relies heavily on practical, observed evidence. The report's conclusions are largely based upon empirical research that links diet with cardiovascular health. The educational model is largely based upon empirical research, demonstrating the benefits of early childhood education. There is a consensus among the scientific community. Many scientists agree on a particular issue. There is a consensus among the scientific community that biodiversity loss is accelerating due to deforestation. There is a consensus among the scientific community that artificial intelligence will play a major role in future technologies. Several attempts have been made. Multiple efforts have been tried. Several attempts have been made to improve the educational system, but challenges still persist across different regions. Several attempts have been made to reduce plastic waste, with varying degrees of success in different countries. A growing body of researchers. An increasing number of scientists or scholars. A growing body of researchers is focusing on the mental health impact of social media use among teenagers. A growing body of researchers supports the idea that early childhood education is crucial for long-term academic success. A considerable amount of time. A large or significant duration. A considerable amount of time was spent analyzing the data before any definitive conclusions were made. Completing the task required a considerable amount of time, more than initially estimated by the researchers. Information collected from several sources. Data gathered from various references or origins. The report was based on information collected from several sources, ensuring a comprehensive analysis of the issue. The final conclusions were drawn from information collected from several sources, giving the study a broader perspective. A number of studies have investigated. Several research projects have examined a topic. A number of studies have investigated the long-term effects of this treatment on different patient groups. Recently, a number of studies have investigated how social media affects mental health, particularly in younger populations. Present evidence suggests that current data indicates a particular finding. Present evidence suggests that the intervention significantly improves patient outcomes in certain demographic groups. Based on present evidence, it suggests that a multifaceted approach is more effective than single strategy treatments. It has been suggested that someone proposed or recommended something. It has been suggested that increasing public awareness can lead to a significant reduction in health disparities. In recent reports, it has been suggested that technological advancements are widening the socio-economic divide. From the recent experiment. Based on findings from a current research trial. From the recent experiment, researchers observed a significant increase in the reaction rate under controlled conditions. From the recent experiment, there was a noticeable improvement in accuracy when using the new software system. More laboratory research is desperately needed. Additional experimental studies are urgently required. While the initial results are promising, more laboratory research is desperately needed to validate these outcomes. More laboratory research is desperately needed to confirm the preliminary findings and explore the potential applications. Their findings have been widely disseminated. Results have been shared broadly with many people. Their findings have been widely disseminated through academic journals, reaching a broad scientific audience. Their findings have been widely disseminated, influencing policy decisions in both governmental and non-governmental organizations. It provides in-depth analysis of. It offers a thorough examination or detailed study. The article provides in-depth analysis of the psychological factors affecting consumer behavior in digital markets. Their study provides in-depth analysis of the underlying causes behind the rapid urbanization in developing regions. The link between social and cultural development. The link between societal progress and cultural growth. Researchers are investigating the link between social and cultural development in shaping national identities. The link between social and cultural development is critical for understanding the evolution of human societies. The poorest segment of people. The group of individuals with the least resources. Government programs often target the poorest segment of people to reduce inequality and improve living conditions. The study focused on the poorest segment of people, highlighting the challenges they face in urban environments. Poor access to safe water and sanitation. Limited availability of clean water and sanitation. Poor access to safe water and sanitation continues to be a major public health issue in developing countries. Addressing poor access to safe water and sanitation is a global priority in the fight against preventable diseases. In the subsequent part of the study. In the later section of the research or investigation. In the subsequent part of the study, data collection focused on understanding the socio-economic factors involved. The results presented in the subsequent part of the study confirm the initial hypothesis regarding behavioral patterns. Mentoring and monitoring the performance. Guiding and overseeing how well someone is doing. Mentoring and monitoring the performance of students are key strategies for improving academic achievement. Mentoring and monitoring the performance of new employees can significantly improve retention and job satisfaction. This view is supported by many people. A belief that has the backing many individuals. While controversial, this view is supported by many people in academic circles who study economic inequality. This view is supported by many people who believe in the positive impacts of technological advancements on education. A broader perspective has been demonstrated. A wider viewpoint has been shown or revealed. A broader perspective has been demonstrated in recent studies, considering both social and environmental factors. A broader perspective has been demonstrated by incorporating cultural and historical contexts into the analysis. There is no conclusive answer yet. A definite solution or resolution has not been reached. Despite extensive research, there is no conclusive answer yet on the long-term effects of the new policy. There is no conclusive answer yet regarding the true impact of climate change on global migration patterns.